Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. We're going to talk about the Rise of Skywalker box office and cats. We're going to talk about cats. Hashtag Cats Army, because cats needs help. These cats are going to get skinned alive by the Rise of Skywalker in a couple of weeks. According to all of the news outlets, all the news outlets are predicting doom and gloom for cats. So we need to raise up a cat's army because cats needs all the support it can get. But we're going to talk about how the Rise of Skywalker, even though it will undoubtedly be the top film that weekend, it will undoubtedly break $100 million opening weekend, is still being adjusted downward. Month by month, it seems like everybody's sort of adjusting their predictions for this. They're subverting their own expectations for the Rise of Skywalker's box office, but cats will be collateral damage. So before we get into the video, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on CLOWNFISH TV. We're at about 80,000 subs, hoping for 100,000 soon. That's probably more people than will go see Cats, but who knows? Cats could actually be a surprise. Musicals at Christmas tend to do fairly well. Look at The Greatest Showman. They tend to have legs, as they call it. They tend to play for quite a while. They tend to bring people back again and again, especially after everyone's gone and seen the big tentpole movies. So Cats was probably the biggest threat to the Rise of Skywalker, outside of The Last Jedi being a huge threat to the Rise of Skywalker, considering it decimated part of the fandom. Definitely cut back on the interest in this movie. Some people are morbidly curious, though. They're going to go see this movie just to see how Disney decides to end its, in my opinion, its apocryphal sequel trilogy. All right, so this is coming from Screen Rant. Uproxx has a version of it too. Cats are going to be spayed. They're going to be neutered. They're going to be sent to the great shelter in the sky. Cats box office predictions suggest opening against Star Wars was a bad idea. Box office projections for Cats illustrate opening directly against Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, was a bad idea. In just a couple of weeks, the iconic Skywalker saga comes to a close via J.J. Abrams' magical mystery box. Latest film making Star Wars 9, the premier movie-going event of the holiday season. That said, The Rise of Skywalker isn't the only high-profile release looking to make a splash. Fellow studio tentpole Jumanji: The Next Level is poised to be a hit for Sony and Universal. And Universal is unveiling their new musical, Cats. Whereas Jumanji has a one-week cushion before it has to deal with The Rise of Skywalker, Cats is debuting the same day as Lucasfilm's upcoming blockbuster. The idea behind that decision was to position Cats as a counter-programming option, appealing to a different target demographic. Unfortunately for Universal, their strategy is poised to backfire, with Cats looking at a serious uphill climb against intense box office competition. According to Scott Wampler of Birth Movies Death, Cats is projected to gross between 14 to 16 million domestically during its opening weekend. In stark contrast, The Rise of Skywalker is looking at a debut in the range of 175 to 200 million. So that's actually being adjusted down. Now look, I do not believe The Rise of Skywalker is going to bomb. It might underperform though, and it might not recoup as much money as Disney was hoping for, especially given the production costs, especially given the reshoots. We don't know how much this movie actually costs, but Disney needs The Rise of Skywalker to make a lot of money. I don't think anybody thought Cats was going to beat The Rise of Skywalker, but I didn't think Cats was going to come in at 14 to 16 million either. I mean, it's freaking Cats. Maybe it's 25 years too late. Who knows? Everybody is adjusting their numbers down on The Rise of Skywalker, though. Episode 9 could have the lowest opening of the new trilogy. It did get adjusted down from 185 to 225 million, down to 175 to 200. I think, especially given the push that they have for the tickets, the push that they've had lately for the tickets, I don't think the ticket sales, the pre-sales, are quite where they wanted them. Remember, everybody's crowing about how the ticket sales, the pre-sales, were doing very, very well. They were doing gangbusters. They were breaking records. So did Solo, and Solo wound up being a flop. Again, I don't see The Rise of Skywalker being a flop, but I don't see it beating even The Last Jedi. You know, a large portion of Star Wars fans have been turned off to the franchise because of The Last Jedi. I don't see it being nearly as big of an opening, but who knows. So The Rise of Skywalker is currently projected to have the lowest opening weekend in the sequel trilogy. There we go. At least people are admitting it now. At least people are admitting it now. Mainstream media outlets are admitting that it's going to have the lowest opening in the sequel trilogy. Now, this is weird because everybody, all of the pundits were like, oh, it's going to get a boost from being the last Star Wars movie in the Skywalker saga. It's going to get a huge boost. It's going to perform very, very well. People are going to have fear of missing out. They're going to want to see how Disney ends it. And at this point, I think, you know, a lot of people just don't care. They don't care. It's still estimated to be a massive draw. If it reaches the high end of tracking, it'll have the second highest debut of 2019 behind Avengers Endgame. And with a little over 2 weeks remaining until Star Wars 9's premiere, there's a chance these box office projections could trend upwards once word of mouth begins to spread, or the opposite could happen. It's opening overseas first, and if that is the case, then, you know, people are going to know what the movie's about. They're going to know what the plot's about, and if those leaks, those really ridiculous leaks, turn out to be true, a lot of people might stay away. I'm going to be honest, because, you know, from what we've heard, the plot leaks sound absolutely ridiculous. Now, maybe they'll play out in the screen better than how it sounds on paper. But if even half of those plot leaks are true, people are going to be pissed off. And it's going to be a polarizing movie, and you're not going to get repeat business. You're going to have people, you know, storming out of the theater, and they're not going to be happy. Kind of like what happened with The Last Jedi. People saw it once, told their friends it was trash, and it dropped off a cliff. Should that happen, the situation could get even more dire for poor Cats, which is lacking significant buzz as its release date draws near. The musical is even missing out on awards nomination deadlines, further hurting its prospects. The biggest discussion point concerning Cats is the use of digital fur technology rather than its quality as a film. If early reviews were out praising it, there's a chance the box office forecast would be much better. Cats' production budget is reportedly $90 million, so the film doesn't need to break the bank. Only $90 million? For all those fursuits? So the film doesn't need to break the bank in order to turn a profit. The odds are Universal is hoping for a debut a little higher than $16 million, and they'll need to hope the film has decent legs so it can become a success. I predict Cats will be a bigger hit in China than The Rise of Skywalker. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think Cats is going to make more money. Cats is going to make more money overseas. It sounds like something China would be into. It really does. We've got all these Hollywood stars dressed up like cats, singing and dancing. China's going to love it. China's going to love it. So I don't think anybody expected Cats to beat The Rise of Skywalker, but wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if that happened? Wouldn't it be funny if Cats overperformed as The Rise of Skywalker underperformed? Hashtag Cats Army. Just putting that out there, you know, as an option. So I just think it's very interesting, though, that they are adjusting Star Wars down. Now, this shouldn't be the case. I mean, look at the Marvel movies. The Marvel movies, for the most part, you know, as the fandom grew, as they picked up momentum, they did better and better and better until we got to Endgame. And now, you know, Star Wars under Disney management has had the opposite. Has had the opposite thing happen to it, where each film performs less and less and less. And they try to say it's brand fatigue. They try to say it's, you know, Star Wars burnout or whatever. They try to blame the time of year they released Solo during, you know, Memorial Day weekend in May, which historically is when all the other Star Wars movies were released. In fact, The Force Awakens was supposed to come out in May, and they pushed it back to December. And then they just started going with December for the sequel trilogy. But yeah, you know, the movies aren't that good. The movies aren't that good. That's why people aren't coming back. That's why people aren't getting as excited for these movies. That's why you're seeing a decline from movie to movie to movie, especially now, since you've killed off Han and Luke, and whatever chance there was of having a reunion is over. I think most people have just checked out. They're like, we don't really care about these new characters. We don't care about this new storyline. We just don't care. But people are still going to go see it. It's still going to make money. But The Force Awakens opened to 248 million. Yeah, because people thought they were going to get Han, Luke, and Leia. I think it was the first Star Wars movie in 10 years. And people were very, very curious. And, having Harrison Ford back was huge. And then 220 for The Last Jedi killed off Harrison Ford. People weren't too sure what to make of it. And then it dropped off a cliff. They're not mentioning that. They're not mentioning that The Last Jedi dropped off a cliff. But they keep trying to defend it. It's The Last Jedi is the 9th highest grossing film domestically with 620 million, whereas The Force Awakens did 936.7 million. So that's still a pretty steep drop off. And I think The Rise of Skywalker is going to drop off even more. I really do. But poor Cats. Yep, Cats is going to be roadkill, I think. Between The Rise of Skywalker and Jumanji, I don't think Cats is going to do very well. So if you've got a little bit of love in your heart and you want to help poor fur babies out this holiday season, buy a ticket to Cats on December 20th. Hashtag Cats Army. Thinking about printing your own comic books, graphic novel, or manga? We recommend our friends over at PrintNinja. We've been using PrintNinja as long as they've been printing comics, and both the quality and price is excellent. Mention CLOWNFISH TV and get an additional 5% overrun of your book order quantity printed for free. For free! That's free books, people. Just mention this offer on the phone or in the additional information box on the quote request form. That's printninja.com, or click on the link in the description below. Hey guys, thanks for watching CLOWNFISH TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.